Hello, I'm Dinosaurs. Welcome to Valorant for Dinosaurs Episode 3. In this video, I'll explain the basics of shooter games, that is, games where the gameplay is mostly moving around a three-dimensional virtual world shooting at enemies. If you played shooter games with a mouse and keyboard before, feel free to skip to Episode 4, where we'll be looking at the basics of shooting and moving in Valorant. To learn the basics of shooter games, I will walk you through the Valorant tutorial, which you can complete at your own pace. If you haven't already, you'll need to download Valorant, which is free. When you download Valorant, it'll get you to create a Riot account. Then, it'll start you on the Valorant tutorial. However, if you've never played a shooter game before, even the tutorial can be confusing, so I'll go through the tutorial slowly. If you have two monitors on your computer, you can follow along with Valorant on one monitor and this video on the other. Let's begin. At the beginning here, we hear a voiceover explaining that we should move toward the highlighted area. In most shooter games, you move through the game world by pressing and holding down the W, A, S, and D keys in your left hand, in combination with moving the mouse in your right hand to turn the direction you want to face. Why these keys? They're convenient for your left hand, so over time it has become a bit of a convention. In addition, some of the adjacent keys like Q, E, F, and C are often used for special abilities in the game. Many players put their middle left finger over the W key, their ring finger over the A key, and their index finger over the D key. I will now show an overlay of some of the keys and the mouse to help show you what I am doing. First, move the mouse around, forward away from you, backwards toward you, left and right. The mouse determines which direction you're facing. You can then use the W key to move forward. Press and hold down W to keep moving. If you move the mouse left or right as you move, you are able to follow any arbitrary path through the world. Note that if you point upwards or downwards as you move, you'll keep moving along the ground. You don't fly through the air or burrow into the ground in this game, at least not without special abilities. You can do quite a lot with just moving the mouse and the W key, but let's look at the other ones. Move your middle finger from W to S and hold down the S key to move backwards, and hold A with your ring finger to sidestep to the left. This movement is called strafing. You can also strafe to the right by pressing and holding the D key, and you even combine strafing with moving forward or backward with the W or S key. Try holding down W and A at the same time to move forward and strafe left. With this in mind, we're ready to start the tutorial. Your first instruction is to move toward the glowing yellow area, which is called a waypoint. Note also, there's a tiny blue diamond with a number on it in the middle of that area. The number is the distance in meters you are from the waypoint. The diamond and number will appear on your screen even if there are obstacles in the way, showing you the direction you should be going. You might also hear a repeated chiming sound coinciding with the waypoint flashing. If you have headphones on, you can hear the sound is coming from the waypoint. In Valorant, it's useful to wear headphones as it helps detect which direction sounds are coming from. Beyond the waypoint, the door has a sparkling blue field across it. This is a barrier that you can't go through, and the tutorial uses these to help guide you along the path it wants you to follow. Just treat them like a wall.
This base is still getting cleaned up. Jump and crawl your way to that gun over there.
Okay, two things about these instructions. First, while he says, get the gun over there, you can't actually see it yet. It's behind this lot of stuff. And while this instruction says to jump over the debris, it actually means the set of boxes with a tarpaulin over them. Now, as he explains, to get over the boxes, you jump, and to jump, you press space, usually with your left thumb. In this case, you can just tap the space bar. You don't need to hold it down. When you jump, you just go straight up into the air. But if you're moving forward with the W key when you jump, you'll jump forwards. In fact, in a bit of video game physics, you can jump while stationary and then start moving forward in midair by tapping space, then holding down W. It's not realistic, but it is convenient. You can also change which way you jump in midair with the strafe and move backwards key too, for some midair course corrections.
Out of charges.
So you should be able to get over these boxes and go to the next waypoint. Here you must hold down the left control key to crouch down. Keyboards usually have two keys marked C, T, R, L. If you have your fingers positioned on the W, A and D keys, then you can reach back with your little finger to tap the left control key without moving the other fingers. Unlike space to jump, you need to hold down the left control key to stay crouched. When you let go, you will stand up again. So to go underneath the collapsed pillar to the yellow highlighted area, you need to crouch and, with your middle finger, press W to move forward at the same time. You might notice that if you walk around while crouched, you move a bit slower. Now, you can see the pistol on the ground next to the staircase. In another video game convention, you can pick up weapons and the spike by walking over them. You don't have to crouch to pick them up. You can also pick up nearby items by pressing F when prompted.
Now shoot that flying target for me.
In fact, while there are a lot of items lying around in this game world, most of them are just scenery and you can't interact with them. The door to your right, for example, can't be opened. Now that you are equipped with the gun, you can see that a crosshair has appeared in the middle of the screen. To shoot the drone, point the middle of the crosshair at it and pull the trigger on the gun by clicking the left button of the mouse. It will take several shots to destroy the drone, so keep shooting by clicking the left mouse button.
Accuracy is everything, so remember to stop before you fire. Try it on these bots, then grab the rifle.
One thing that could happen accidentally at this point is if you have a scroll wheel on your mouse. If you roll the scroll wheel away from you, you'll bring out your knife again. You can return to the pistol by rolling the scroll wheel towards you again. You can see on the lower right part of the screen that it shows the current weapon highlighted and the number 2 next to the pistol and 3 next to the knife. You can press those numbers on your keyboard to switch to those weapons if you don't have a mouse scroll wheel. Now that you've shot the target, the blue sparkly field in front of you disappears, allowing you to move forward to the next section of the tutorial. Your next goal is to shoot 2 bots, short for robots, with the pistol. You can't see the bots yet as they are around the corner ahead of you. Move forward toward the corner until you can see one bot. The bots are not very good shots, so you have plenty of time to carefully point the crosshair at the bot's head and shoot with the left mouse button again. In Valorant, it's best to stand still when you shoot, because your bullets won't always go toward the middle of the crosshair if you are moving when you shoot. Go further around the corner to see the second bot. Once again, you'll have plenty of time to carefully line up the crosshair on the bot's head and shoot it. The rifle that this bot drops is a better weapon than the pistol you're holding, so you should pick it up. Unlike the pistol, with this gun you can hold down the left mouse button to continuously fire, destroy the flying target, and once again, the sparkly barrier behind it disappears, allowing you to go around the next corner.
All right, Agent, 3 more. Position yourself so you only fight one at a time. You can aim down sights for a closer look.
As a reminder, if you've accidentally rolled the scroll wheel forward, it might switch your weapon to the pistol or the knife again. Just roll it back toward you to switch to the rifle. You can also press the number 1 on your keyboard to switch to the rifle. When you're playing a game of Valorant, it's pretty useful to be able to quickly switch weapons. The rifle has a feature called Aim Down Sights, or ADS. If you right-click on the mouse, the view will change to move the gun to the bottom middle of the screen, and it zooms in slightly so everything looks a bit closer. The crosshair changes to be more elaborate. If you right-click again, it goes back to normal. You can make use of this Aim Down Sights feature to destroy the next couple of bots who are waiting around the corner. As a general principle, it's a good idea to expose yourself to only one enemy at a time, as you can only shoot one enemy at a time, while they can all shoot at you. Here, we can take advantage of strafing to look around this corner. You can use the A and D keys to strafe. Use the A key to strafe to the left while facing forward, so that you can immediately shoot the bot that you see. Now, we're not sure where the next bot is, so we can strafe to the left with A, and then to the right again with D to go behind cover to avoid being shot. Now, we know where the next bot is, so we can pop out again, and shoot the bot again using A to move and left click to shoot. The third bot is hiding behind the little rotunda. We can move forward and then use strafing again and shooting to get it. We can now see the yellow area indicating where to move next, along with the waypoint indicator, that cyan diamond with the distance number.
The next bot can't see you, but it will hear you. Walk slowly so it doesn't detect your footsteps. Then, take it by surprise.
When we move into this area, we're advised to take the next bot by surprise by moving while holding down left shift. You may have noticed while walking around before that you can hear your footfalls as you walk. Well, when you hold down the left shift key and then press the W, A, S or D keys, you will move a bit slower, but you won't make any noise. In Valorant, you can hear when enemy players move nearby, but not when they use shift to walk instead. And it's the same for the bot that we can see here. For the purposes of the tutorial, we're being shown where it is even through a couple of walls so that we can sneak up on it. If you hold down left shift with your pinky and W with your middle finger at the same time, the bot won't hear you walking, and since it's facing away from you, you can carefully line up its head in the crosshairs and shoot it by holding down left click.
Nice job. Let's try out some different guns on these targets. Normally you'd have to think about which guns and abilities to spend your creds on. But for now, go wild.
The gentleman has mentioned some targets, but you might not be able to see those yet. Move forward and look through the doorway to see more of those flying drone targets. We should now press the letter B to bring up the buy menu. There is a lot going on with this menu, and it's a little visually overwhelming at first. You can hide it, or bring it back again by pressing B. For the purposes of this tutorial, ignore everything except this middle area here. Next, by moving your mouse around, you can select different guns. Click on the stinger to choose it, and press B again to go back to the game. You can now try out this gun. It shoots very fast, but it doesn't do a lot of damage.
Take this time to check your settings. Adjust your aim sensitivity. Review your keybinds. I want everything to custom fit.
The narrator has advised you to check your keybinds and sensitivity. I'd understand if this sounds like utter nonsense. Don't worry about that for the moment. We'll cover that in the next Valorant for Dinosaurs episode. For now, we can follow the yellow waypoints.
Let's test your accuracy. These bots pop with one headshot. Body shots do less damage and leg shots even less. They'll despawn quickly, so see how many you can get before the timer runs out.
The ability to move the mouse to targets and quickly shoot them is one that's essential to Valorant. If you haven't played any games like this before, it may feel frustrating and the bot disappears before you can line it up. One great feeling of satisfaction many players get is how you improve this skill the more you play. But for now, don't compare yourself with other players. This is the beginning of your own journey of mastery.
Not bad. All right, track down that waypoint. It'll lead you to the teleporter. Go through it so we can practice using your abilities. They make a huge difference in setting up a favorable fight.
Once again, look for the cyan dot with the number underneath it, indicating the waypoint. The waypoint has now moved to that pyramid-shaped object in the distance.
Every agent's abilities are different. See what your bow does by shooting that wall.
When he says, shoot the wall, he means shoot with the bow and arrow that are this particular character's special abilities. The abilities of your character are always shown at the bottom of the screen here, and you can use an ability if the energy bar underneath it is blue. The letter shown under each ability is a reminder of the key you must press to use that ability. In this case, when you press E, you put away your gun and take out your bow. You can now shoot a special sonar bolt, sticking it into the wall. It will then scan for nearby enemies and reveal them to you.
Scanning ahead.
And there they are. Use your intel to take them out one by one.
In this game, the ability to shoot your enemy before they shoot you is extremely important, and now you have the opportunity to prepare before you even face your enemy. You can point the crosshair at an enemy through the wall, and use the strafe keys, D and A, to keep pointing at the enemy as you come around the corner so you don't even have to move your mouse to aim at their head. With practice, you can shoot before they even have the chance to react. Remember to stop before you shoot to avoid the shots going wild.
Up ahead is a device called the Spike. It's how the enemy steals our radionite. Attackers try to plant it at key sites, and defenders try to stop them. Practice taking the Spike to the highlighted site and planting it.
Like the guns, you move over the Spike to pick it up.
I have the spike.
Fortunately, you can still use your gun while you are carrying the Spike. While it looks like the Spike has disappeared, you are now holding it, as shown here. Like the knife and pistol, you can switch to holding the Spike in your hands and using the scroll wheel, or hitting the number 4. 1 is the rifle, 2 is the pistol, 3 is the knife, and 4 is the Spike. Once again, we look for a way to get to the cyan waypoint to get to our destination. To plant the Spike, press and hold 4. Planting it takes a few seconds.
Like the attackers plant the Spike, the defenders will try to defuse it. I'll send in some bots. You take cover in the boathouse behind you and defend that Spike.
The bots are going to come from the left and right side of the building ahead of you, and they are going to try to defuse the Spike. You've got a nice defensive position inside the boathouse, and if you use the strafing motion with A and D, you can peek out with your gun, more or less pointing straight at them.
Remember to use your abilities to give you the advantage. Shoot your sonar bolt at the targets on the wall to reveal hidden enemies.
In general, if you have trouble remembering which key to press to use your abilities, remember the key is also shown at the bottom of the screen under each ability. In this case, it's E to switch to the sonar bolts.
Revealing area.
All those kills charged up your ultimate ability. It fires straight through walls. You can fry those bots from here.
This is the last thing to do in the tutorial. Once you hit X, you aim straight at the bots through the wall and shoot. If you miss in the tutorial, you can hit X to summon the ultimate ability again. So, to summarize what we've learned today, you can move using W to move forward, S to move backwards, and A and D to strafe. You can hold down Shift to move quietly while doing so. You shoot by left-clicking the mouse and aim down sights by right-clicking. You can jump by pressing space and crouch by holding down left control. You change weapons using the scroll wheel or the numbers 1 to 4. You can open and close the buy menu using B. You can use special abilities with the letters shown underneath each ability, which will be Q, E, C, or X. In the next video, we'll look at the main mechanics of Valorant, shooting and moving, and we'll talk about the journey toward mastery and making sure that's enjoyable and satisfying.